Today's video is going to be about 5 animes you must watch, whether the reason be because it's so infamous or because it's barely had any people watch it or whatever. So yeah, let's get right into this. The first one we're going to be reviewing on this list will be Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. Now, the reason why I say this is one of the animes you must watch is because it is a good thing to compare other animes to, so then you have like a, you're not going to watch something terrible that you're not going to be able to get into. But for me, Naruto's a good show that it kind of changes the way you think. It makes you think more positively, and it kind of makes you want to change the things that is bad about you and kind of do better. And yeah, it just makes you have a different take on life. So it's just, to me, it's a very motivational anime, and it just makes me want to do better. And if you're going to watch something, you might as well watch something that's going to give you a positive, And also, this show is very good, and it's very entertaining. And that's pretty much the main reason why you would watch anything. And not to mention, Naruto himself is just a relatable character. A lot of people can relate to, loneliness, not having anybody, and, just trying to get through, and you being the only person that believes in your dream or whatever. A lot of people go through those types of things, and Naruto is like he is the embodiment of those things, and he's just a relatable character. And if you're going to watch a show that's going to positively help your life, and someone that's relatable, I mean, that's just the perfect, and it's a very interesting show. You just put all those things together, and there's no reason for you not to watch it except the filler, but you can just skip that. It's not that hard to do. I mean, if you've watched my other video, I had him in the starting animes, best animes to start off with, and it is, and it's also an anime that you must watch, so that's why it's in this compilation. If you're going to watch anime, you have to watch Naruto, and another reason is it is one of the most, it's in mainstream media, and if you don't want to get spoiled by this show, or if you want to understand what people are talking about online, you're gonna have to watch Naruto, because it's just one of the big 3 as well. So I mean, you just have to watch this show, especially if you're gonna watch anime, you have to watch Naruto. That's just the way it is. Now I know you're probably sick and tired of hearing me talk about this anime, but after talking about it these past few days, I've just had to have this on here, because Guilty Crown is a show that not too many people know about, because anytime you look it up on like any type of hashtag for any type of social media, it's not that popular. And I think more people should watch this show. So if I can advocate for more people to watch it, then the good. But it's an apocalyptic anime with a very good main character, and all the supporting characters are good too. Like, I'm not just saying the main character's good. All the characters in this show are pretty interesting. There's not really any characters that you would hate. There's no Zenitsu in this one, so I mean, there's no like one character that sticks out. There's not really anything in this show that I would point out that's particularly bad. But the reason why it's a must-watch is because it's so different than any other show out there. You cannot find another show like Guilty Crown. You can try, but you're not really going to find anything that has its same feel. I mean, you got High School of the Dead, but like it's also like got like a lot of comedy in it, and this doesn't. So I mean, this is just, to me, like the perfect apocalyptic anime show. Like, if I could imagine an anime with apocalypse, like this to me is the best. Like, nothing really beats this show when it comes to that. And not to mention, seeing an anime girl shoot a gun is also a plus. It's got good romance. Like, you have to watch this show. It is so good. The more videos I have this in, the more chance I can get another person to watch this show. So, watch Guilty Crown. Trust me, it's amazing. Alright, now the next one is Tokyo Ghoul. Now, Tokyo Ghoul is an anime that needs to be watched, because Tokyo Ghoul is a show about a character that isn't automatically cool. Ken Kaneki is kind of a bookworm and isn't really that cool in the way he acts, thinks, talks for the entire first season. It's not to the last episode of the first season to where his character is actually cool. He's pretty boring and normal, and he's very relatable, and he feels like a real person. Like, that's the one thing you get from the show, is Ken Kaneki feels like a real person, and you can actually relate in some of the ways, depending on what type of person you are, of course. But overall, Ken Kaneki is a relatable character, and not to mention the voice actors. Oh my gosh, the voice actors. English and Japanese done their thing. They are amazing voice actors. Both of them did a fantastic job. There should be no argument of dub versus sub on this one. They both done good, alright? Both of them. And the final episode of the first season will always be my favorite anime episode because the build-up is crazy. That last episode of the first season, it's amazing. They always know how to set up a finale, the people behind Tokyo Ghoul. They are very good at setting up a finale. And that's the one thing that I just love about Tokyo Ghoul. But overall, Tokyo Ghoul is a must-watch. You have to watch it for the character relatability, for the voice acting, for the way how they build up a story. It's just a good anime, so watch it. Alright, the next one we're going to be talking about is Asterisk War. Now, most people's favorite ecchi is DxD, but this one is mine personally. Because the ecchi is still there, but it's not as extreme and it's not as often. It's like 1 minute and 30 seconds for each time, or like less or something like that. The ecchi's not that strong, the characters are actually pretty good, and characters have a motive for everything in this show. Like, they're not just doing stuff just to do it. Characters have motives, they have their own lives, and this show just is actually really entertaining and good to watch. The ecchi doesn't take away from it, it kind of adds to it and just makes it feel more realistic to a sense and sometimes. And you know, I just really do like the main character and their moves, and like the way he calls it out. Like, you know how Demon Slayer has their like breathing techniques? Well, I really like his techniques, and his story is pretty cool as well. Him like having dormant power that is like too powerful for him to wield and stuff like that. And this show's animation actually is pretty good. Like, you wouldn't think it would be, but like, its animation at times is so good. The main character literally turns into a real human. I am not lying. Look it up. He literally turns into a real person for like a few seconds. I don't know how the animators done that, but they done it. But either way, I definitely recommend this anime, especially if you like the ecchi genre. This will put you on a little bit, because this one isn't as, you know, severe as most ecchi, so it's a lot more, you know, tolerable for people that don't like ecchi as much. So, I mean, this show is a good watch for all people. If you like ecchi or not, I'm pretty sure you can get around it either or, and, you know, still watch this show and have fun while watching it like I did. And yeah, let's move on to our last one. Now, our last one is Dragon Ball, and it's not the Dragon Ball you're probably thinking of. It's not Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super, but just OG Dragon Ball. Because OG Dragon Ball may not be the most flashy show, may not be the most, like, powerful show showing the most powerful people. It may not have the most action-packed fighting scenes, but the fighting scenes are very greatly choreographed and they're thought out. I can't speak English, but that's besides the point. They are not just two different auras hitting each other for like 10 minutes. Like, it's actually like very well done and looks better than some like top studio Hollywood movies. Like, some of the fights, like Krillin versus Goku in the martial arts tournament, that is one of the best looking fights ever. Like, they're just constantly throwing hands and you can see it as plain as day. They're not going 50 million times the speed of light and sound and all those things. But they still do pretty impressive things. You know, they're not all weak. There's still a lot of crazy things to happen in this show because it is Dragon Ball. And it still has Dragon Ball's like core belief systems and stuff like that. But the reason why this is a must watch is you watch Dragon Ball Z and Super without this, you have a missing piece. But when you watch this, it makes Dragon Ball Z and Super make so much more sense. And you really get a feeling for Goku and who he is. Whereas when you watch just Z and Super, you only know him as an adult. You don't know what he grew up like and what he done when he was a kid. And just having that knowledge, it makes you feel like, you know, like you're a more accomplished fan, for one. And for two, it really gives you an idea of who Goku is, and you also have a lot more knowledge because, well, you watched him grow up. And, you know, it's still, to me, an amazing anime, and I am glad that I watched OG Dragon Ball because, you know, it's worth it. If no one's ever told you that watching OG Dragon Ball is worth it, well, here I am telling you that. Well, I am recording this on a Sunday, and I have pretty much done all these videos in the span of 2 days. So, anyone that has made it through every single one of those videos this week and is now at the end of this video, I appreciate you, and you are an amazing person, and you don't know how happy I am that there's someone that's done that. Now, if no one's done that, well, I mean, boo-hoo for me, but hey, if someone's watching this, I must be doing something right. Well, make sure to like and subscribe, watch more of my content, and as always, yeah.